have aligned my platform with water conservation and protection. And I'm not up here texting on my phone. I've actually gone green and not printed off any paper, so bear with me. 70% of the Earth is covered in water. Less than 1% of all water on the planet is drinkable. There are 7 billion people on the planet. You can imagine the conflict over water resources that could result. The object of the UN for the year 2013 is to bring awareness to the potential and the increased cooperation and changes facing water management. The world is changing, and so is our demand for water resources. It takes a lot of water to run our 21st century lives. The average family of 4 consumes 400 gallons of water on a daily basis. This is one of the current largest environmental issues. With an infinite, unregulated population growth and a definite amount of water on the planet, this can result in some serious conflicts. As Canadians, we do not see the crisis, but rest assured it is happening all around us and our southern neighbors are the biggest offenders. No water, no future. Water is life. Fresh water is a renewable resource, and the hydrologic cycle is renewable. But humans are currently using such quantities that the system cannot replenish itself quick enough. We are recording record-breaking extreme droughts, and the water cycle is spinning out of control. Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Sandy are just the beginning of large category storms that will continue to ravage the planet. And as the glaciers melt and the ice caps melt, the continents are experiencing severe desertification. Countries are already experiencing long-term effects. Australia is plagued with both droughts and wildfire. Desolate, parched interior farmlands are driving the farmers to the coast. The Earth's deserts are increasing by 3 miles a year. The shift from 4 equal seasons to 2 seasons we experience as ourselves as Canadians. We see the hot, dry summers, and we see the cold, long, dark winters. We don't have a fall and a spring like we used to. Desertification is attributed to the process of pumping both privately and nationally. The Aral Sea, named for its vast size in Russia, has all but nearly dried out to small ponds. Lake Mead is down 60%, and this is a reservoir that was supposed to last 250 years. The Colorado River no longer pours into the Gulf of California, and what water does reach Mexico is so polluted that nobody can use it. Companies like Nestle, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, they have rights to our groundwater. Privatization that the government gave them. They're able to pump that water out, bottle it, and sell it to us with less regulations than are placed on our tap water, and sell it at a cost of 500 times what it would cost us to take it to the tap. Knowing how little our world has for knowing how little water our world has for human consumption, shouldn't we be protecting it? I think so. But instead, we are slowly poisoning our water systems, and we are no longer conserving or caring about the creatures that live within them. In Alberta, and as an Albertan, I am extremely concerned about the industry in my own province. The Athabasca River Basin is the 3rd largest watershed on Earth, but most of all, it is the most threatened by industry. The tar sands projects use millions of gallons of water from the Athabasca River every year to separate bitumen from the sand. And then it is dumped into unregulated tailings ponds where ducks and geese and animals land and become covered in oil, where the groundwater seeps into our other natural resources and back into the Athabasca River. These global destructions are happening in the name of profit and economic health, all over the world and at the expense of its inhabitants. The human race has the ability to do amazing things and accomplish great feats. We've become slaves to consumerism and know only how to profit and not how to protect. We no longer live in a golden age, but an age of ignorance, arrogance, and greed. It is a sad thought that man's final act of our existence will be suicide. We wouldn't be the first species to be wiped out, but we would definitely be the first ones that did it knowingly. But there is still time, and we must act now. All of these mitigating factors will lead to conflict on a global scale unless we take action. Politicians need to do their jobs as elected representatives. Industry needs to take action. We need to make them accountable for their actions. Huge investments in renewable energy and individual carbon rationing are needed for every citizen. Water is a resource and not a good, and should be treated as a basic human right and not as a good. Because no one can live without it, we need to protect it at all costs and reverse the damage we've already done to preserve a healthy and conflict-free planet. Water is life. Thank you.
Final delegate for our beauty